We have already completed unit 1 and unit 2. Today's turn is your unit 3. आज हमें unit 3 पढ़िबा पिले आउ गोटे सूचना देवा पे चाहिए पिले तमर जो सिलेबस अपडेट उपरे माने किछि पिलांकर क्वेश्चन दिला आज गोटे सिलेबस नॉर्मली जहाँ को एडिट करिकी सिलेबस ता छड़ा हिची 2022 सिलेबस बोली कि दैट इज नॉट कंप्लीट सिलेबस सही सिलेबस उपरे मो ऑलरेडी आई हैव मेड वीडियो मु वीडियो कर सारी से सिलेबस उपरे तो से सिलेबस जदि तुमको दरकार सिलेबस यू कैन सॉल्व द सिलेबस एंड यू कैन सी द 100% सिलेबस से 100% सिलेबस उपरे ऑलरेडी मु वीडियो कर दीची तो आज यूनिट 3 पढ़िबा हमें थर्ड यूनिट ऑफ ऑन एग्जामिनेशन ई चैप्टर रे आउ पैटर्न 30% एमसीक्यू पैटर्न 50% एमसीक्यू मे बी चेंज होगी 30% एमसीक्यू होगा बट एमसीक्यू विल बी देयर सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट एंड डोंट आस्क दैट सेम क्वेश्चन अगेन एंड अगेन ठीक अच्छे तो पहले क्लास I first went to Harrow in the summer term ग्रीष्म ऋतु ही था मु प्रथम करी हारो स्कूल को गली को ऋतु रे ग्रीष्म ऋतु रे The school possessed the biggest swimming bath I had ever seen. The school means Harrow school. Possessed कहले had तारो थिला possessed the biggest swimming bath कहले पिले swimming bath कहले swimming pool. तो हारो स्कूल रो स्विमिंग पूल टा सबुठारो बड़ थिला. So which school had the biggest swimming bath? The question, it is Harrow school. So what was the biggest thing Harrow school possessed? It is swimming bath. Look at two questions, same answer will be there. I had ever seen Winston Churchill देखिथिबा स्विमिंग पूल मानक मध्यरे हारो स्कूल रो स्विमिंग पूल टा सबुठारु बड़ थिला So I had ever seen. It was more like the bend of a river than of a bath. It was more like the bend of a river. What a river bend, nodi jemti thae pile river bend jemti thae. Mane it was just like the bend of a river than of a bath. तो ये बढ़िया bend एक ही थिला से जो swimming bath था. And it had two bridges across it. It had two bridges. या ऊपरे दुईटा ब्रिज थिला का ऊपरे ए जो स्विमिंग पूल थिला या ऊपर दुईटा कौन थिला टू ब्रिजेस across it across on cross it's a compound preposition so across it thither means there setare we used to repair for hours at a time and bask between our dips eating enormous buns on the hot asphalt margin. What was happening? कौन होतले exactly? Thither सेठारे we used to repair कहले एकाठी हेबा together. We used to repair for hours in some time कोनोसी एक मुहूर्त रे जेतबेला हमकु समय मिलुतला we used to repair for hours at a time गोटे निर्दिष्ट समय रे and bask bask कहले rest BAS के bask stand for rest bask between our dips between कहले मझिरे dips कहले बुड़ आमे जेतले बुड़ू थुलु माने डेउ थुलु से ब्रिज ऊपर पानी की between our dips what we are doing we are taking rest we are taking bask आम rest नौ थुलु our dips eating enormous buns a kind of cakes माने केक भलिया जिनस पिज्जा बर्गर भलिया जिनस सब केक बंस कहले पिठा तो आम खाऊलु आमर जो रेस्ट गोटे थर बुड़ी की आसलु टिके रहिलु टिके खाइलु गरम दिन ठंडा लागुतला कुल लागुतला जाउदलु बुडुतलु आस्तलु सेठी बस्तलु खाउतलु कोठी बस्तलु ऑन द हॉट asphalt margin कहले या ऊपर पिचू पड़ीथिला को का ऊपर ए जो ब्रिज थिला ब्रिज ऊपर पिचू हेतिला आ पिचू तातिबो asphalt कहले पिचू तातिबो से मार्जिन ऊपर ए जो कड़ा एटा दिस इज द मार्जिन तो ए मार्जिन रे हम बसी किरी खाउथुलु माने हमर बुड़ो मझिरे बुड़ो पकाउथुलु तापर आस्तुलु बस्तुलु खाउथुलु नेचुरली माने साधारण भावे नेचुरली इट वाज अ गुड जोक टू कम अप बिहाइंड सम नेकेड फ्रेंड it was a good joke to come up behind some naked friend कौन से सांग ଯେତେବେଳେ ଅର୍ଦ୍ଧ ଉଲଗ୍ନ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ସେ ଠିଆ ହେଇଥିଲା ଆମେ ତା ପଛରେ ଲୁଚି ଲୁଚିକି ଆସୁଥିଲୁ ଆଉ କ'ଣ କରୁଥିଲୁ ଅର୍ ଇଭେନ୍ ଏନିମି ଆଣ୍ଡ ପୁଶ୍ ହିମ୍ ଇନ୍ ଆସିକିରି ତାକୁ ଠେଲିଦେବା ପୁଶ୍ କରିଦେବା କେଉଁଠିକି ପାଣି ଭିତରକୁ ତ ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ମସ୍ତି ଚାଲୁଥିଲା ସେଇ ସମୟରେ କି କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ସାଙ୍ଗ ମାନେ ସେଠି ଠିଆ ହେଇଛି ଅର୍ଦ୍ଧ ଉଲଗ୍ନ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ଠିଆ ହେଇଛି ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟଟା ପିନ୍ଧିଛି ଉପରେ ଖାଲି ଉପରଟା ପିନ୍ଧିଛି ତଳରେ ଖାଲି ଏଭଳିଆ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ଯିଏ ଅଛି ସେ ସମୟରେ ଆସିକି ପଛଆଡ଼େ ତାକୁ ଠେଲିଦେବାଟା ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଜୋକ୍ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ଚାଲୁଥିଲା ଏଇଟା So I made quite a habit of this with boys of my own size or less. I made a quite habit of this with boy of my own size or less. ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ଯେ ମୋ ସାଙ୍ଗ ପିଲା କିମ୍ବା ମୋ ଠାରୁ ଛୋଟ ପିଲା ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯାଇକି ପେଲିବା ପାଣି ଭିତରକୁ ତ ଏଇଟା ପୁରା ମୋର ହାବିଚୁଆଲ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ନା So one day when I had been no more than a month in the school one day ଗୋଟେ ଦିନର କଥା when I had no more than 1 month in the school I had ମୋତେ ମାସେ ବି ହେଇନଥିଲା ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଆସିକିନି ଜଷ୍ଟ ମାସେରୁ କମ୍ ହେଇଥିଲା ସେଇ ସମୟରେ I saw a boy ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାକୁ ଦେଖିଲି What did I see? I saw a boy standing in a meditative posture ଗୋଟେ ଧ୍ୟାନ କଲା ଭଳିଆ ମୁଦ୍ରାରେ ପିଲାଟା ଠିଆ ହେଇଛି କେଉଁଠି meditative posture wrapped 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 କହିଲେ କବର୍ଡ wrapped ଗୁଡ଼େଇ ହେଇଛି କ'ଣ in a towel ଗୋଟେ ଗାମୁଛା ଗୁଡ଼େଇ ହେଇଛି ଉପର ପୁରା ଖୋଲା ଗୋଟେ ଗାମୁଛା ଗୁଡ଼ାଇ wrapped in a towel at the very brink କହିଲେ edge EDGE କହିଲେ ଯେଉଁ this is the edge ଏଇ କୂଳ ଉପରେ ଧାରରେ ସେ ଠିଆ ହେଇଛି କେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଗାମୁଛା ଜଷ୍ଟ ଗୁଡ଼େଇକିରି ଠିଆ ହେଇଛି at the very brink So I thought him a fair game. What did I think? I thought him a fair game. ତାକୁ ମୁଁ କ'ଣ ଭାବିଲି ମସ୍ତ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ନମୁନା ହେଇଛି ତାକୁ ଯାଇକି ଠେଲିଦେବା ମସ୍ତି ଟିକେ କରିବା ଆଉ I thought him a fair game. Coming stealthily behind him. Coming stealthily କହିଲେ ଚୋର ଭଳି Coming stealthily behind him ତାର ପଛେ ପଛେ ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ଚୋର ଭଳି ଆସିକିରି stealthily behind him. I pushed him in ମୁଁ ପାଣି ଭିତରକୁ ଧକ୍କା ମାରି ଦେଲି ତାକୁ ମୁଁ ପେଲି ଦେଲି I pushed him in holding onto his towel out of humanity so that it should not get wet so କ'ଣ କଲି ତା ଗାମୁଛାକୁ ଧରିଲି ଗୋଟେ ହାତରେ ତଳ ପଟୁ ଗାମୁଛାକୁ ଧରିକିରି ବାଁ ହାତରେ ଗାମୁଛା ଧରିଛି ଡାହାଣ ହାତରେ ତାକୁ ପେଲିଦେଲି ତ କମ୍ ସେ କମ୍ ଗାମୁଛାଟା ଓଦା ନ ହଉ ସେ ବରଂ ବାଥଟା ୱେଲ୍ଟା ନା ପୋଛାପୋଛି ହେବା ପାଇଁ ସେଇଟା ଓଦା ହେଇଗଲେ ଯେ ପୋଛାପୋଛି ହେଇପାରିବନି ଆଉଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ହ୍ୟୁମାନିଟି ମୋ ଦେହରେ ସେ ସମୟରେ ମାନବିକତା ଆଉ ନଥିଲା I was not intended to do so but I did that exactly I should not do that according to as a human being I mustn't do that but still I did that Pushed him in, holding onto his towel out of humanity so that it should not get wet. I was startled to see a furious face emerge from the foam. I startled, 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 ହତବାକ୍ ହେଇଯିବା, ଡରିଯିବା, ଭୟରେ ପ୍ରକମ୍ପିତ ହବା. I was startled to see a furious face. ଗୋଟେ ଭୟଙ୍କର ମୁହଁ ମୋତେ ଦେଖାଗଲା କଟମଟ କରି ମୋତେ ଚାହିଁଲା ସେ ପାଣି ଭିତରୁ ମୁଁ ପୁରା ଡରିଗଲି ମୋ ଦେହର ରକ୍ତ ଶୁଖିଗଲା ଏ ଫ୍ୟୁରିୟସ୍ ଫେସ୍ ଇମର୍ଜ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ଫୋମ୍ସ ସେ ପାଣିର ମାନେ ଫୋଟକା ଭିତରୁ ମୋତେ ଗୋଟେ ଭୟଙ୍କର ମୁହଁ ଦେଖାଗଲା ଯିଏ ମୋତେ କଟମଟ କରି ଚାହୁଁଥିଲା ଯେ what you did with me you must be punished like this something was telling from the reaction of his face I was getting something get to know something like that So from the foam and being evidently of enormous strength କହିଲେ ବଳ enormous କହିଲେ ପ୍ରବଳ ମାନେ ତାକୁ ଦେଖିଲେ ଲାଗୁଥିଲା ସେ ବହୁତ ବଳବାନ ଥିଲା enormously strength making its way by his strokes to the shore ମାନେ ପାଣିକୁ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଜୋରରେ ବାଡ଼େଇ ବାଡ଼େଇକି କୂଳ ଆଡ଼କୁ ରକେଟ୍ ଭଳିଆ ସେ ଆସୁଥିଲା ବହୁତ ଜୋରରେ ଆସୁଥିଲା ତାକୁ ଦେଖିକିରି ମୋତେ ବହୁତ ଡର ମାଡ଼ୁଥିଲା ସେ ସମୟରେ I fled ମୁଁ ପଳେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କଲି What did I do? I fled बट इन भेन भेन कहले मोर प्रयास वृथा गला बट इन भेन स्विफ्ट एज द विंड माय परस्यूअर ओवरटुक मी स्विफ्ट एज द विंड विंड कहले पवन स्विफ्ट कहले क्षिप्र पवन ठारू क्षिप्र बेगरे मोर जो परस्यूअर PURSUER परस्यूअर कहले अनुधावक मते जे अनुसरण करूला मते कैप्चर करिनेला माय परस्यूअर ओवरटुक मी मते ओवरटेक करिनेला से सीज्ड मी इन फेरोसियस ग्रीप सीज्ड मी मते धरिला इन फेरोसियस ग्रीप तार से वज्र भलिया हाथ मुठारे मते से धरी पकेला जहा को माने जो चेष्टा करूथिली मुकुलिबा पई मु चेष्टा करूथिली तार से पंजारू शक्त पंजार मुकुलिबा पई किंतु मु बाहरी पारु नथली सीज मी इन फेरोसियस ग्रीप एंड होल्ड मी इनटू द डीपेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द पूल होल्ड मी मते धरी के से टाणी टाणी नेला कोठी की होल्ड कहले घोसारी नवा टाणी नवा होल्ड मी इनटू द डीपेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द पूल से स्विमिंग पूल रो सबठारु गभीर जगह को मते से टाणी की नहीं की गला कौन करथिबा पिले मते से धरिकी बुड़ेला दुई थर तीन थर बुड़ेला held me into the deepest part of the pool I soon scrambled out on the other side I soon शीघ्र I was also trying to escape myself from the seizure of the my strength and opponent मोर से बलशाली ओपोनेंट विरोधी ठारू मु चेष्टा करुची कौन करबा पे छोड़े की बाहर बाय द बाय मु छोड़े नहीं निजक मुक्त करी एंड स्क्रैम्बल्ड आउट जेन तेन प्रकार छोड़े मु बाहरी कोपटे ऑन द अदर साइड पूल रो अलगा साइड रे मु बाहरी ताठारू माने छोड़े तार से ग्रीप रु निजक मुक्त करके स्क्रैम्बल्ड आउट कहले बाहरिबा स्क्रैम्बल्ड आउट ऑन द अदर साइड्स एंड फाउंड माई सेल्फ and whenever I reached there मुझे तो सिटी पहुंची I found myself surrounded by an agitated crowd of young boys I found myself surrounded by an agitated crowd of younger boys छोट छोट पिला बहुत सारा पिला मते घेरी गले agitated crowd agitated means irritated angry annoyed you can say so surrounded by an agitated crowd of younger boys छोट छोट पिला माने मते पूरा चारियाडे घेरी गले मोर सांग माने जो माने थिले मोर चारिपटे घेरी गले you are in for it they told you are in for it भलो होईची जाईची तो पे भलो होईची तो दरकार से बळा गोटे पाने हेईची आ हबा दरकार you are in for it They said, do you know what you did? Do you know what I've done? तू जानी पारुचु कौन करिचु का सहित लागि तू जानी पारुचु ना हैं Do you know what I've done? It's Emery with that boy. It's Emery. So who that boy? The boy was Emery. पिलाटीर ना कौन थिला Emery. तू जानिचु से किए सेटा होची Emery. He's in 6th form. से 6 क्लास रे पिला एंड यू आर इन 4th फॉर्म इज सीनियर टू यू अरे से तोर सीनियर तू 4 क्लास रे पिला से होची 4 क्लास रे पिला ही इज इन 6th फॉर्म ही इज द हेड ऑफ द हाउस ही इज हेड ऑफ हिज हाउस तार जो हाउस अछि जो हॉस्टल अछि से हॉस्टल रो से हेड इज द हेड बॉय ऑफ हिज हाउस ही इज चैंपियन एट जिम जिम चैंपियन School classroom gym champion se sabudina every day he is going to gym he is doing some workout he has large muscles he has more strength than you how can you do such type of a situation how can you create such type of a situation with a boy senior to you so you are in for it to sei bole mane gote jinso darkar he is head of his house is champion at gym he has got his football colors He has got his football colors. He is a very good player of football. बहुत सुंदर फुटबॉल खेले फुटबॉल रे भीतर ना अछि They continue to recount his many titles and fame and reverence and to dilate upon the awful retribution that would fall upon me. How कौन है बोले? They continue to recount कहले explain. ସେମାନେ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରି ଚାଲିଥିଲେ narrate କରି ଚାଲିଥିଲେ his many titles his କହିଲେ Emery's many titles Emery ପାଇଥିବା ପୁରସ୍କାର Emery କରିଥିବା କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ ତାର କ୍ରିୟାକଳାପ ବିଷୟରେ ସେମାନେ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରି ଚାଲିଲେ many titles to fame and reverence ସମ୍ମାନ ଆଉ ଖ୍ୟାତି ତାର କେତେ ସମ୍ମାନ ଥିଲା ତାର କେତେ ମାନେ ଦବଦବା ଥିଲା ସେ ସ୍କୁଲ ଭିତରେ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ସେମାନେ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରୁଥିଲେ ସେ ଭିତରେ reverence and to dilate upon. Dilate upon कहले कौन पिले? Dilate upon means exactly it is to speak about someone. जनक विषय रे कहिबा, जनक विषय रे विश्लेषण करी कहिबा. Dilate upon the awful retribution. Awful retribution means fearful punishment. माने जो मो सहित जो घटना सब अभावनीय घटना सब आगु घटिवार थिला, मु जो भूल करिछि से पई जो पनिशमेंट मु सब पाइवार थिला से ऊपर से माने कहउतले तते से मारी दबो जानिछु ना, बाड़ेइबो जब्बर बाड़ेइबो तते. हाँ जो भूल करछु तार पनिशमेंट पाइबा पे रेडी हे रे बाप किळा नेइछु. तो एई बढिया such type of situation was happening there. That would fall upon me. I was convulsed. And after listening such type of comments about comedy from my school fellows, the younger boys who were there, I was convulsed in terror. I was convulsed in terror. Convulsed कहले कौन पहले paralyzed. Feel like being paralyzed. माने सते कि मो देह paralyzed हे जाउथला, मो देह रक्त शून्य हे जाउथला, मो निर्जीव हे जाउथले, मते आ चलिबा पे शक्ति लागु नथिला. I was convulsed in terror, with terror, but with the guilt of sacrilege. Not only with terror, केवल जे भय थिला जेमति नुह, with the guilt of sacrilege. Guilt of sacrilege कहले कोन रबिले? Guilt of sacrilege कहले one of a feeling for doing something wrong or sinful. माने किछि अजणारे करि देइथिबा भूल, जोटा न करवा कथा, गोटे प्रकार पाप सती कि मो द्वारा गोटे अजणारे भूल हो जाइछि, जोटा जो जिनस न होबा कथा. Getting me? So with the guilt of sacrilege, how could I tell this his ring when he was in a bad towel and so small? I took to myself. मु निजको निजे कहउतली से समय. How could I tell his rank when he was very small and he is just in a bad towel? गोटे गामुछा पिंधिथिबा छोटिया बालक को देखिकी मु केमिति जानिबी से मोठू सीनियर एवं मोठू शक्तिशाली बोले. निजको सांत्वना. I was consoling myself. I was giving console to myself at the time. How could I tell his rank in just a bad towel and he is so small? I determined to apologize immediately. And I determined, at that time I determined, मो से समय दृढ़ निश्चय. I was very certain that I'll end that matter immediately, at instant. मो से समय संगे संगे निष्पत्ति नेली कि ये मैटर टाको एठी ही क्लोज करिबा दरकार. Apologize immediately. I approached the potentate in liable trepidation. I approached मो आगेली का पाखकु? एमेरी पाखकु. एठी लेखा आइछि I approached the potentate opponent. Getting me? The strong opponents. I approach that potentate in lively trepidation. मो भितरे भय थिला, बहुत भय थिला. Trepidation कहले भय पिले. So a state of alarm or death. I was just trembling with fear. I was just convulsed in terror. Still, I did some dare. I want to go there, and I want to end that matter at the very moment. That's why I went to Ameri. So you were so small. Trepidation, I'm very sorry. I told, I'm very sorry. I said, I mistake you for a fourth form boy. I mistake you. मोर बोले गला मु आपन को माने भाबिली गोटा चतुर्थ श्रेणी रो पिला बोली के मोर क्लासमेट बोली के मु आपन को पेली देली. So fourth form of boy, you are so small. आपन बहुत छोटो देखा जाउछंती. You are so small. He didn't seem at all placated by this. He didn't seem at all placated by this. किंतु एक तरह से शांत होला बळे लागिला नाही. Placated कहले शांत होबा. Placated. Why this? So I added in a most brilliant recovery. So what I did, I added in a most brilliant recovery. मु बहुत सुंदर भाबे सेठी माने हाजिरा जवाब जाहु कमते मोर प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड यूज करके गोटे सुंदर कथा कहली. कौन कहली? माय फादर वाज अ ग्रेट मैन. यू नो, माय फादर वाज अ ग्रेट मैन. मो बापा भी बहुत बड़ लोक. यू नो, सर रेंडल चर्चिल इज माय फादर वाज अ ग्रेट मैन. इज आल्सो स्मॉल. से भी बड़ छोटो. तमे जेमती छोटो भाई ना, तमे जेमती छोटो ना, मो बापा माने आम इंग्लैंड रो सीनेट रो सी माने हेड तथापि सी भी छोटो. तो I did say at the time, at this he laughed. এই কথা শুনিলা পরে সে হসিলা কিଏ ফাইনালি হি লাভড ଆମରି ହସିଲା and after some general remarks about my cheek cheek କହିଲେ ଦୁଷ୍ଟାମି cheek କହିଲେ ଗାଲ ନୁହଁ ପିଲେ cheek କହିଲେ ଦୁଷ୍ଟାମି so after some general remark about my cheek ମୋର ଦୁଷ୍ଟାମି ବିଷୟରେ ସେ କିଛି କହିଲା ଯେ ଭାଇ ଏଭଳିଆ କରିବାଟା ଭଲ ନୁହଁ and how I had better be careful in the future and he also advised me to be careful in future जब भविष्य रे भी एभलिया न करो तमे जेमती signified and from this it is signified सेही समय सूचित सूचना मु पाइली मु जानी पारिली that the incident was closed जे घटनाटा सेठी एंड हे गला बिले एटा थिला तमर कोन it is second third unit fourth unit सारी दबाजी fourth unit सारीबा तापर आसंते काली क्वेश्चन आंसर पर दिन एमसीक्यू तार नेक्स्ट डे एमआईएल ओडिया रो गोटे दिटा लेक्शन स्टार्ट करिबा so okay let's start unit 4 what I've been fortunate to see a good deal more of him I've been fortunate mo bhagyavan I've been fortunate to see a good deal more of him mo bahut bhagyavan je ethi एमिरी सहित परवर्ती समय मोर बहुत संपर्क रहा ता सहित मु बहुत माने समय अतिबाहित करिछि in times when 3 years difference in age is not so important as it is at school and it was the time it was not the school time exactly it was not schooling time so it was the time when 3 years of difference doesn't matter at all जेतबेले 3 वर्ष हम माने 3 वर्ष रो गैप ता 3 वर्ष रा डिफरेंस ता जेतबेले मैटर करे नै जेतबेले when we are colleague जेतबेले हम गोटे सेम प्रोफेशन रे काम कलु so is at school we were afterwards to be cabinet colleagues for a good many years afterwards परवर्ती समय रे we were cabinet colleagues आमे मोर मु जेतबेले प्रधानमंत्री सिथिले से मोर कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर थिले you were the finance minister you were the minister of external affairs with India so for a good many years it was thought incongruous topic ta sethi sorla ame kara no topic pile so it was thought incongruous unbelievable asatya apriya it was thought incongruous that while I apparently stagnated in the lowest form I apparently कहले clearly apparently कहले स्पष्ट भावे stagnated means fixed stagnated कहले fixed while I apparently stagnated in the lowest form जेतेबेले मु स्कूल रे सबले lowest form रे रहउतली I should gain a prize मु गोटे प्राइज जीतितली आ केही लोक विश्वास करनथले पिलाटा प्राइज जीतिला केमती स्कूल रो शेष पिला से प्राइज जीतिला केमिति so what was that prize gain a prize open to the whole school and that competition was open to the whole school पूरा स्कूल भीतर कंपटीशन हेतिला आउ से कंपटीशन मु प्राइज जीतिली कोन for reciting to the headmaster 1200 lines of Macaulay's lays of ancient Rome it was a competition it was a reciting poem reciting competition से समय गोटे poem थिला कोन it was lays of ancient Rome by Macaulay को लिखित गोटे कवितार ना होची लेज ऑफ एंशिएंट रोम एंड इट वाज ए 1200 लाइन पोएम 1200 धाड़ी रो कविता थिला इट वाज ए 1200 लाइन पोएम 1200 धाड़ी रो कविता एंड लेज ऑफ एंशिएंट विदाउट मेकिंग ए सिंगल मिस्टेक आउ से 1200 धाड़ी रो कविता को पढ़ी थिली विदाउट एनी मिस्टेक कोनोसी भूल न करी निर्भूल भाव रे पढ़ी थिली I also succeeded at a good first achievement what was that achievement that in a open school competition I recited a 1200 lines poem that was Lays of Ancient Rome by Macaulay without any mistake without a single mistake and second thing I also succeeded almost succeeded in passing the preliminary examination for the army preliminary examination for the army पई हेतिबा preliminary examination प्राथमिक परीक्षा जो होइतला सेद्रे हम पास करथली for the army while still almost at the bottom of the school जो समय रे while still से समय रे भी still almost at the bottom of the school रो समस्तंकर तळ पिला मुतिली आ still मु क्लियर करथली preliminary exam This examination means the preliminary examination to the army. This examination seemed to have called forth a very special effort on my part. seems to have called forth. What do you mean by called forth? Called forth means, used. So called forth a very special efforts on my part. ମୁଁ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ୱତନ୍ତ୍ର ଇଫର୍ଟ ଉଦ୍ୟମ ନେଇଥିଲି କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ସେ ପ୍ରିଲିମିନାରୀ ଏକ୍ଜାମକୁ କ୍ଲିୟର କରିବା ପାଇଁ. For many boys far above in the school failed in it because why it is called a special effort? Because many of the boys far above me in the school failed in it. କାରଣ ମୋ ଉପରେ ଥିବା ବହୁତ ସାରା ପିଲା ସ୍କୁଲରୁ ଫେଲ୍ ହେଇଥିଲେ. That's why I can call it a special effort taken by me. That's why I succeeded in the preliminary examination of army. I also had a piece of good luck. Not only good efforts, not only best efforts, I think I had also a piece of good luck. More matra bhagya more sathire thila at the time. I had a piece of good luck. We knew that among other questions, we should be asked to draw from memory a map of some country or other. ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଜାଣିଥିଲୁ question pattern ଯାହା ଥିଲା, we know the question pattern, and it was very clear that we are to draw a memory of some country or other. କୌଣସି ଏକ ଦେଶର dominion ବା territory ଉପରେ ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟାପ୍ ଆଙ୍କିବାର ଥିଲା, ଯୋଉ ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିଥିଲୁ already. The night before, by way of final preparation, ପରୀକ୍ଷା ତା ଆର ଦିନ ମାନେ କାଲି ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଥାନ୍ତା, ଆଜି ରାତିରେ ମୁଁ ଫାଇନାଲ ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ୍ କରୁଛି, ଶେଷ ପ୍ରସ୍ତୁତି ପାଠ ପଢ଼ୁଛି ସେ ସମୟରେ. Final preparation. I put the names of all maps into a class into a hat and draw out New Zealand. What did I do? ମୁଁ କ'ଣ କଲି? I wrote all the name of the country names in small papers. I put them in a hat. ଗୋଟେ ଟୋପି ଭିତରେ ସବୁ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିର ନାଁ ଲେଖିକି କାଗଜ ଟୁକଡ଼ା ଲେଖିକି ମୁଁ ପକେଇଲି. ଆମେ ଯେମିତି ଲଟେରୀ କରୁଛୁ ଭାବିଲେ ଦେଖିଥିବ ତମେ. 4 ଜଣ ମାନେ ଖେଳୁଛେ ଆମେ, ତ ପ୍ରଥମେ କିଏ ଖେଳିବ? 4 ଜଣଙ୍କର ନାଁ ABCD ଲେଖା ହେବ, ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକର ନାଁ ଡ୍ର କରାହେବ, ଯାହାର ନାଁ ଆସିଲା ସିଏ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଖେଳିବ. ଲାଇକ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ସେମ୍ ଥିଙ୍ଗ ୱାଜ୍ ଦେୟାର. ତ ସେ କ'ଣ କଲେ, ସବୁ ଦେଶର ନାଁ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ମାନଙ୍କର ନାଁ ସେ ଯେଉଁ ମ୍ୟାପ୍ରେ ଥିଲା ତାକୁ ସବୁ ଲେଖିକି କାଗଜ ଟୁକୁଡ଼ାରେ ତାକୁ ଗୁଳା ଗୁଳା କରିକି ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଟୋପି ହେଡ୍ କଲେ ଟୋପି ଭିତରେ ପକେଇଲେ. And drew out New Zealand. ଆଖି ବନ୍ଦ କରିକି କାଢ଼ିଲା ପରେ କ'ଣ ବାହାରୁଛି? ନ୍ୟୁଜିଲାଣ୍ଡ. I applied my good memory to the geography of that dominion कहले kingdom, राज्य. I applied my good memory, मोर total memory को apply କରିଦେଲି. न्यूजीलैंड टाको ମୁଁ ପ୍ରାଞ୍ଜଳ ଭାବରେ ଘୋଷିଦେଲି, ପ୍ରାଞ୍ଜଳ ଭାବରେ ପୁରା ଟିକିନିକି କରି ନ୍ୟୁଜିଲैंड. And sure enough, the first question in the paper was draw a map of New Zealand. What a surprise! Look at this. What a pleasant surprise. Yes or no? So the first question in the exam, draw a map on New Zealand. मोर खुशी कहले न सरे. सपोज तुम बोर्ड परीक्षा दौच, फिजिक्स रो 4टा क्वेश्चन केवल घोषिक जाइछ, आ सेही 4टा क्वेश्चन ही आनी कचेपो 12 नाइ बिले. So this was what it's called at Monte Carlo an N-plane. N-plane is called gambling. Monte Carlo is a French town which is famous for its casino. मने रखिबा, Monte Carlo होची गोटे फ्रांसी देशर शहर जोटा जुआ अड्डा पई फेमस. N-plane, and I ought to have been paid 35 times my stake. N-plane कहले gambling. तो Monte Carlo रे ए जिंसटा को gambling बोली कहंती, या कोन कहंती gambling बोली कहंती. आउ सेही जिंस पई I ought to have been paid 35 times of my stake. 35 मार्क पाके मैं स्कोर कली and I passed that examination. My stake, however, I certainly got very high marks for my papers. So जहाँ भी हो मैं बहुत बढ़िया मार्क पाइली से पेपर है in comparison to the other boys in the school while I was at the bottom of the school. That's all. एतिकी थिला तमर ऑन एग्जामिनेशन चैप्टर. एथि सहित सरुची. आसंता काली क्वेश्चन आंसर डिस्कस करिबा. आई विल गो सब क्वेश्चन आंसर, टोटल क्वेश्चन आंसर डिस्कस करिबा. आउ तापर नेक्स्ट आमे जिबा एमसीक्यू सेक्शन को. हमर 3टा चैप्टर सरिची, 3टा चैप्टर रा एमसीक्यू कंटिन्यू प्रैक्टिस करिबा. देयर आफ्टर रिवीजन हो जिवो, तापर पुणी नुवा चैप्टर स्टार्ट करिबा. ओके, 7:30 रे विल बी देयर. बाय बाय.